Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture.
And today I bring you my episode 38 for Saturday Morning Makes in 2025, and it is my official kickoff to the holiday season. Let's go ahead and jump on in.
Hey y'all, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Saturday morning. Happy Saturday morning makes. This is Nancy the Handy Scandy, and I have a lot to share with you today. I have been having so much fun in my craft room this week, and I'm in the middle of taking down Halloween and putting up Christmas. Somebody commented on my Christmas jam. Oh, it was Tina, my sweet Tina, commented on my Christmas jammies the other day. I know I haven't shared a lot of my weight loss journey with you guys, but these jammies are definitely a non-scale victory. So just a few months ago, I was wearing a 26, 28, and some of those weren't even fitting, and these jammies are an extra large straight off the shelf. So that's a major victory for me, and I'm very excited to wear these jammies as many times as I can before the season is over. So Miss Tina, thank you for bringing them up. You can see I have a bunch of different supplies on my desk, and I'm going to go through them real quick. But before I start that, if you are unfamiliar with Saturday Morning Makes, it is an open art collaborative. The mother of Saturday Morning Makes is Jillian Norwood. I will link to her channel. If you are unfamiliar, I don't know how you could be, but things happen. And so I would invite you to hop over there, introduce yourself to her, get to know her. You will adore her the way the rest of us do. She's so inspiring. She's an amazing human. And that's aside from the crafting and the creating and all the inspiration that she presents to us. So she started Saturday Morning Makes at the start of COVID for a variety of reasons, and the rest of us have just jumped on board with her. And so the idea is to share whatever you've been creating. The original idea was to do it on Saturday morning, but it has evolved to where you can share whatever you want to share on any day of the week, on any platform. Just use that hashtag SatMornMakes. And that way when you search, you can find all of us, and when we search, we can find you as well. So without further ado, I will say, if I've left anything out, hop over to Jill's channel. She's very thorough on her explanations. And even if on one video she forgets or whatever, just watch another video or two, and all of that information will be there. So I'm going to start with these. These are stamps from Whippersnapper, and I shared what I had done with them last week, and then this week I finished them up. So I had this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So it was these four that I had not made into anything yet. Today I have. And I have used this glitter cardstock. I picked it up through Walmart, and this glitter cardstock as well. It's Pen and Gear. It's white. I've shared the white one before, but I've used them in abundance today. The black one is new, and I have to say it's very similar to the white, and I love it. I've also used these, excuse me, a couple of these wonky stitched rectangle dies from Whimsy. And I've used one or two of these oval Hero Arts Infinity dies. And I used this God Jewel, which means Merry Christmas in Swedish. This is from Gummioppen. And then I used this inverted scalloped die from Pink Fresh Studio. I used the largest of the rectangle die from these. And I actually had to do partial die cutting to get it to the size that I wanted, but that's what I used. Then I used this tag. It's called Old Tag from Gummioppen. This was a gift from my sweet friend Julia. I don't know where this die came from, and I've not used most of the snowflakes I'm about to show you. I've not used on a project, but I've spent a lot of time die cutting this morning. So I used that one. I used these 6. They're more of a medallion than a snowflake, but I just went ahead and die cut them out. I used these from Spellbinders and these from Stampin' Up. And then I also used these from Tim Holtz and Sizzix. There's 2 dies in there to make that snowflake. And then I used these beauties from My Creative Time. And I use the belly band that's called the Snowflake belly band, and I don't think I used it, but I die cut this doily. And then I've used many of these, so I used the mitten, the stocking, and the tree with the stitching. I've not used the shadow layer, and I've not used any of the detail pieces. And then I also used the joy from this set from Stamp Timber, and then I also used the die. So I think that's about it, except for like embellishments and things like that. And as I get to my projects, if I think about them, I'll pull them in and show you what I use. So without further ado, I'm going to jump on into my cards. So this is the first card that I made, and I am smitten with it. I pulled out a bunch of different pattern papers, all seasonal. So here's a whole bunch of them, and then this is kind of the stack that I was drawing from. And so I don't even know where this particular paper came from, but this was one side, this was the other. And since the red that I used on Santa really doesn't coordinate with any of the other reds that I have, I thought it went best with that stripe. But when I turned the stripe over and I saw this beautiful snowflake, I couldn't let that snowflake go to waste. So I cut it in half, and then I ran it through the die cut machine with the wonky stitched rectangle die. And then I used a piece of trim. Now this trim, if you guys see that, you know how I'm always talking about don't throw your scraps away when you die cut. Because this is that trim, and what it is the belly band. This is the detailed one, this is the outline, and I ran them through the die cutting machine next to each other, and it makes a beautiful trim. And look at how cute that is. And I have a bunch of different examples to share with you when I get to the tag dies that I've cut out. But then also you can see I've got the God Jewel on there. It kind of blends in with the snowflakes in the background, but I'm not mad about it. I also have this snowflake, that's from my creative time. And then I just use a little black panel. And again, I use some more of that trim just to ground Santa. And then I have this beautiful eyelash trim that I picked up from Temu. Shared that the other day. And I just think it adds a beautiful, I don't know, opulence. I know it's over the top, and I love all the danglies, and I couldn't cut them off. So there is that one. It's my favorite for the day. And then I did this one, and I love it as well. I went ahead and trimmed it down, and I tried to fix as much of the bleeding as I could. I layered up a couple different pattern papers in the background, some more of those snowflakes from my creative time, and then I went in with my crystal drops or jewel drops and just added some texture and dimension to different areas on the baubles and things. And then I added some more of this trim, and I just think it's so much fun. And this one is a top opening. Now both of these I added a black panel to the back. I just think it adds so much to them. Let me get a sip here. I just donked my tooth. All right, now here is the third card with this fun little snow date image, and I had already die cut that out with some dies from Stampendous, I believe. And then I had all of these strips of paper, and when that happens, guys, I go to town just stripping it up. So I have this panel that I made with strips, this one that I made with strips, this one that I made with strips, this one, and I feel like there's more buried under here somewhere that I just can't get to. Here's another smaller one. And I layered them on different types of paper. There's black, there's cream. I feel like I have a craft somewhere. I'm looking and I'm not seeing it. But if it comes up when I'm showing you, then, or as I go through this, then I'll show you. But anyway, I just thought that turned out really nice. I love that black background. You guys know, like, black is my favorite color, so I try to incorporate it everywhere I go and anything that I do. But just the added black panels on these cards, I think just makes them pop, and I think they're just so sweet. Now this Your Snow Sweet sentiment comes from an MFT stamp set right here. I forgot to pull it out. It's called Snow Sweet, and I'm still heartbroken that MFT closed their doors this year as well. So many of our crafty favorites are closing their doors. We really need to be sure that we're supporting the people that we love, y'all. And here is the other card that I made. I never put the right amount of shaker bits in a shaker card. So this is where I use that tag from Gumiapin and then the word joy from the Simon Says stamp and Tim Holtz stamp timber set. And then I just added just literally some scraps on my desk. And I mimicked the joy tag on him. I did not put a jingle bell on there. I just felt it was too small. But I grounded him a little bit with this green strip, and then I used another of the green strips to kind of bridge between these two pattern papers. This is where I use that pink fresh dye, and then of course some more of the snowflakes from my creative twine, and then just a piece of twine. So I think those turned out so super cute. And then I turned my attention to the tags. And I started cutting things out, and let me show you, like I just pulled out a bunch of different papers. So that's one of them that I cut out. That's very, very basic, very cute. And then I thought, ooh, you can embellish that. So I went in, and here's one where I added a red top, and then I used a piece of that trim. And then here's one where I added a red top and a different piece of trim. Here's another one with a red top and the trim goes the other direction. And here's one where I use that same striped one and it's got decoration on both sides. Now, if I end up using these for tags, once I decide what I'm going to do with them, I'll likely go back and do the shadow piece, probably with some chipboard. I think I want to make a garland with them. I think that's what I want to do. But here I have one in black. I think that looks really good. And then some plaid with a black top. I feel like I have more somewhere, but here we're going to switch to the mittens. They just turned out so stinking cute. Let me scoot the stockings over here and then the mittens over there. Now I will likely come back and add some snowflakes to these. I think that would be super cute. Like I have some black snowflakes here. Like how cute would a black snowflake be? Or even a bigger one. I think that would be really cute. Or a small one up at the top. I mean, cute, cute, cute. And that's that black glitter paper. And I'll show you more of those here in just a second. But then I also cut some of the trees. Now that was just out of paper. I did not do anything fancy with that one. Now this, I took 2 pieces of paper, taped them together. This is that same paper from here, and I couldn't let it go to waste. So I used another piece of that trim. And then this was 2 pieces of paper as well. They were like that. You can see how I glued them together. And then I just ran the die through in different directions, and then again I used the trim. So didn't they turn out cute? And then that one I love as well. Same thing, back sides of the same paper. I think this was a Stampin' Up! Paper. But I love all of those. Let me pile these up and then I'll show you some of the belly bands. If you didn't notice, here's where I used a belly band on that card. And then the rest I've just cut out, but I haven't used them on anything yet. But I've made some fun combos, so I'll show you those. Or here are a couple of the white glitter backgrounds. And then here's a striped background. And then here's this pretty pattern paper. Those are the shadow layers. And then I have, see how I could layer the glitter layer with that, or with that, or with that. And then I have this. I think this would be really pretty with the white glitter on the background. Then I have this one, again, I think would be really pretty over the white glitter. And I just think they turned out so cute. I mean, I did nothing to them other than cut them out. But then I have all of these scraps with that beautiful detail cut on the side. I already shared this one. And then I have some more that are smaller, and I've used them in a variety of ways. Here I have the black one. Look what fun trim that will be when I'm ready to use it. So, loving that. I think that adds some beautiful, fun detail. And then I have a million die cuts using the snowflakes and stuff. So here is the snowflake doily. And then here are these others that I cut out with the other doilies from Amazon, and I cut them out in black, the black glitter cardstock, and then the white glitter cardstock. Now some of them I only got half of it, but I did that on purpose because I often will end up cutting off half of it, half of a shape, and so it doesn't break my heart to cut it in half like that to start. So that just gets me on the right track. So I think those are a lot of fun. And then the snowflakes, I started out just using the new ones from My Creative Time, and then I went a little crazy. So here are a bunch of the white glitter ones from My Creative Time, all the different sizes, and again, some of them cut off, but that doesn't break my heart because oftentimes we cut off images, so I just use them in that way. So all the different sizes, and then I have some in craft, in all the different sizes, 2 different colors of craft. And then I have them in black. Again, all the different sizes. And now these are just from My Creative Time. And then I pulled out the others, and I have this whole stack. These are all black, but these are all the different dies that I showed you in the beginning. Now I have not popped out all the excess, but look at how unique that is. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this one is from Stampin' Up. That's been a favorite for years. And that one is from Spellbinders. Very, very pretty. And then these I thought were really unique. This one is Spellbinders as well. These two are Sizzix. You pop out all those excess and then you layer them together, and that's what gives you that big dimensional snowflake. So most of these in the black are from Stampin' Up because I just use them again and again. And there's such a variety of sizes in that particular die set from Stampin' Up that has been a go-to die set every winter ever since I got it. So there's all of those. And then, as Jill was telling us, we can use the excess. So I was throwing them away, especially when they came out like that, right? But then I thought, oh, that could be kind of fun too. I don't know yet in what way I'll use it or if I even will. But I saved a bunch of them, and then these can be used for shaker windows. I don't know about these in particular because the edges are kind of messed up, and they're not, you know, the outline of it isn't quite right. But I'm holding on to them just to see. I won't hold on to them for long. If I'm not inspired, I have enough in here. I can always cut more. But they're pretty cool. And the potential to use them in other ways is definitely there. So let me scooch these out of the way so we can see the others, because I became more intentional as I was die cutting. So this one I was very intentional, and I don't know how well you can see it against that, the brown on brown. Let me see. That's not much better, but there's a bit of a contrast. But you can see that this could be basically like a background die. You know, I can trim that down, or I could make a shaker window out of it. Get the bits and pieces adhered down to whatever it's going to be adhered down to. I think that could be really cute. Really, really cute. And then this one I did out of the white glitter stock, and it's mostly held together. So again, you know, I might need to be selective, but there are, you know, lots of different ways I could use that. And then this one as well, you know, bigger aperture, but definitely usable in different ways. So I'm going to hold on to them, like I said, for a while. I just think they turned out really cool. And these are just, this is the scrap. This is the trash piece, right? But look how pretty. So, so pretty. And then this one even, this was of the medallions, and you can see how I would stick the smaller snowflake dies on there. So my sweet friends, that is what I have to share with you today. I have been a busy, busy girl. I don't know if I'm going to have much of a presence in the next week or so because I am working on putting Halloween away and putting Christmas up, as I mentioned. And that takes a lot of time and energy and stamina and all of those things. But I wanted to come on and share with you today. Thank you guys for spending this time with me. I hope everybody's having a beautiful November day. And until next time, make sure you hop around and see all the other Saturday Morning Makes inspiration. Spread some love. Make sure you tell people that you're there and that you appreciate them. And I appreciate you. Excuse me. And I hope to hop around and get to your channels and see all of your makes as well. Until next time, guys, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Mwah. And I'm out.